everybody, happy Friday. So today's video is a twofer. I'm going to be playing along with Natalie for our 80/20 series, and I'm also going to be using my Auburn Lane collection, which was the first full collection that I purchased from Khristina at Redefined Creative. So let's talk about rub-ons. I have the biggest Auburn Lane collection in the history of ever, like so much. I have, look, 2.5 packages of rub-ons. Let's use some. Rub-ons expire. Rub-ons don't last forever. Rub-ons need to pretty much be used. Some of these rub-ons worked. Some of them didn't. So I already know that they're going a little bit on the rough side. So we're going to use them. I chose a page design. In my head, I chose a go-to page design, a page design I use quite often. And so what I'm going to do is, my idea is to treat these rub-ons like a pattern paper. So in the areas of this white cardstock sheet where I would normally cut and put pattern paper down, I'm going to create a pattern using these rub-ons. This will use a ton of rub-ons. In fact, I only have a half a pack of rub-ons left. So that's awesome. This is a great way to use up some embellishments that you might have hanging around your house or around your craft room, right? So at first it kind of went a little slow until I got into the swing of things. So what I started doing here is kind of putting the rub-on on and that rub-on onto the paper and then burnishing the rub-on and doing them one by one. As I started to work through these rub-ons, what I ended up doing was I would rub on a whole mess of them and then take a full sheet of like that burnishing paper and then burnish all of them all at once. That worked way better. I did cut them apart. I didn't use like the entire sheet. I think you could maybe do like just take a whole sheet of them. I wasn't real keen on that notion, and I really wanted to create what looked like a pattern paper. And to get that look, I really needed to get the rub-ons close together, closer than they were on just the sheet. Plus, I'm doing a vertical strip here that's 4 inches wide. So I'm using my Tim Holtz Media Mat to kind of watch where my 4-inch mark is. And then I'm going to fill the bottom 4 inches and then like a top little border across the top of my page with the rub-ons. So I put on a movie. In this case, I watched Jane Eyre, the BBC one from 2006. In case you're interested, that's my favorite one. I love it. It always makes me cry no matter what I do. And so I put it on, and yes, I did cry, but that was after the layout was done. So I'm just going to go ahead and keep plugging along here. The only rub-ons I didn't use there was this one that said thank you, and I felt like thank you I never put thank you on a scrapbook page, and I probably never will. But the rest of them, I literally just nestled them all together, no matter what they said, no matter what the icon was, because I was going for something very whimsical. And by the magic of YouTube, here we are, all finished. So I'm just showing you how I did this. Lots of rub-ons. And then here's my photo, which is a photo of my 2 nieces. And they have this, like, I don't know, it's a really cute photo. But it's very whimsical in tone and whimsical in color, and it worked. And I got this whole set. My sister had family photos done. She sent me so many pictures of my nieces and my nephews and her family and everybody. And so, and the colors match Auburn Lane to a T. So as I scrapbook my way through these photos, you'll see a lot of Auburn Lane, which makes me super happy because of so much of this collection. I am a huge, huge fan of whoever designs the pink paisley collections that are just pink paisley. So think Auburn Lane, Indigo and Ivy, Again and Again. Those lines are stunning and I adore them. Just throwing that out there. If you're one of that designer and you happen to be watching this video, thank you. Thank you for creating these fabulous lines. I don't know who you are, but you're amazing. I am using all of these little scrap pieces of paper. So these are the like these scrap pieces. These are cut apart pieces I've used to mat other things with. I pulled a whole handful of scrap papers out. I'm not really cutting them down if I don't need to. I mean, if I really, really, really need to, I'll cut them down. But if I don't need to cut them down, I'm not cutting them down. And I'm just making this big, lovely, layered area with my photo. And then I'm going to kind of put it down right there. Unfortunately, I did end up chopping off one of the bunny rub-ons heads, but you know, the nice thing about this is that you can't really tell. It's not a big deal unless you're looking super duper closely. And also, if this had been a pattern paper that I had cut at 4 inches, I would have cut off the bunny's head anyway. So it's totally cool. This tag is one of the specialty items that Khristina added to my Auburn Lane kit all those years ago, like 2 or 3. And I'm going to tuck it under there because I want to add some base pieces that I can kind of layer some of my embellishments and my title up on. But I don't want a lot of heaviness. I need this page to be light, and it definitely has the potential to become real busy real fast. So I'm going to go ahead and keep the embellishments simple. I do want to kind of fill in that line where the rub-ons end and the photo begins. I decide on a couple of different elements from the die cut pack, and then I'm also going to open this embellishment kit. Fortunately for everyone involved, I only have one of these. Three packs of rub-ons, but I only have one of these. Probably because sequins are generally something I shy away from since I get them from Spiegel Mom Scraps. That's like my sequin dealer. So I am going to tuck in these little file folder cards. And then I want to use one of the paper clips. That's kind of why I pulled into that embellishment thing. It was because I decided I wanted to use a paper clip. I only have 2 of these sticker sheets, so that's sticker book things. That's good. I only have one of the clips with the embellishments, but I decided to put a little cluster up at the top there and then faux clip all of those layers together with the paper clip. And I really, really like how that turned out. I felt like it worked really well. It added a bit of a cluster up there, and it wasn't too heavy or busy, but it still complemented the photo well. So I want to use some foam on some of these elements, not all of them, just a few. And I'm going to go ahead now and kind of get all of these die cuts down and in place before I decide on some other embellishment options. I decided that I wanted to pull some of the more whimsical icons up into my clusters. The things like the pears, the bunny. I probably would not have opportunity to use it again. So this seemed like the perfect kind of spot to get some of those icons into a layout where they would totally kind of work with the feel and the theme and what I'm doing with this layout. So I'm going to pop up this bunny, and then I'm also going to go ahead and add some pears and pop those up too. Now I'm just going to kind of take a peek here and see if there's anything else I feel like I want to kind of tuck in or around. I do like a couple of these little phrase stickers. There are a couple that are very, kind of perfect for what we were doing. And these photos were taken in August, and there was this lovely little sticker right there that said August. And I'm like, perfect. So we're going to pop that in there. There's some little buttons and things, just a couple tiny little stickers that I decide I can kind of add to some of these clusters. Now I'm going to grab my crystal katana, which has magically reappeared on my desk, and I'm going to go ahead and glue down a couple of sequins. So these are the sequins that came in that embellishment pack because I don't want to waste them. They were right there, so I thought, well, sprinkle a couple around. I definitely think that this layout absolutely hit the 80-20 mark in embellishment versus paper ratio. In fact, I would even go so far as to say this particular layout is 90-10 because I really was able to get a ton of embellishments on this and still not make it look busy and have it be, there's some white space for your eye to rest. Things are kind of organized and clustered together. It has that whimsical look to it I was going for. So I'm super happy with this design idea. I'd love to see if you decide to try it. This was such a fun way to just really use my rub-ons before they got all dried out and don't work. So I hope that you all have a fabulous weekend. I will actually be back tomorrow. I will have a weekend video for you guys because I'm playing along with the fabulous Christy from Christy's Beautiful Life and her 30 days of sketches tomorrow. All right, everyone, you all have a fabulous day. I'll talk to you all again soon. And here is your close-up. Bye, everyone.